Good day, German author again, and I'm here to deliver the final installment of a 5-part series of podcasts. These were designed specifically to guide a group of first-time university lecturers from the Department of History, who will for certain be faced with issues of diversity, equity, and inclusion in their respective classrooms. If you have missed the previous sessions, that's quite okay. This session will recap the previous ones. I will begin this session with a reminder that all means all. In other words, none shall be left behind. The thrust of societies in the 21st century is to ensure that all learners, regardless of their race, color, creed, class, economic or immigration status, disability, or sexual orientation, receive an education in a single space. Let us look at the definition of some terms. According to TAN 2019, diversity is the presence of difference within a given setting. This difference may include race, ethnicity, religion, nationality, or sexual orientation. TUTU 2021 defines equity, especially as it relates to education, as making sure that equitable and quality education is accessible to all students irrespective of their background. TAN 2019 defines inclusion as the intentional, ongoing effort to ensure that diverse people with different identities are able to fully participate in all aspects of the work of an organization. For inclusion to be a comfortable and beneficial arrangement, there must be an appreciation of diversity and the existence of equity. The vehicle which will address issues of diversity, equity, and inclusion in the classroom is the Universal Design for Learning, or UDL. UDL, according to Joseph Lathan, is an inclusive teaching methodology that offers educators a set of strategies and tools for engaging every student. UDL brings learning equity to a diverse classroom by acknowledging and accommodating each learner's individual needs and strengths. The philosophy underpinning UDL is that every student learns differently and therefore must be given the opportunity to learn in their unique learning style. UDL is buttressed by 3 principles. These principles must be evident in each area of the curriculum and should provide multiple, varied, and flexible options for representation, expression, and engagement. Multiple forms of action and expression. In other words, how will learners show me, the educator, the instructor, what they have learned? Multiple means of representation, ways of presenting information to address diverse needs. Multiple means of engagement, promoting student interest, attention, motivation, and/or persistence. Inclusion, according to Alberta Education, is a way of thinking and acting that demonstrates universal acceptance of and belonging for all children and students. So who should be included? those with learning disabilities, those with physical disabilities, those from different socio-economic backgrounds, those from different ethnic backgrounds. The role of technology in inclusive education. The role of technology is pivotal. First of all, educators must determine the accessibility of the tools they wish to implement. They must assess the tools to see if they are user-friendly or if they are complex and will cause user frustration. Will the devices cause physical discomfort? These are issues that must be thoroughly investigated. It must be borne in mind that technology offers new opportunities to support learning before, during, and after class. Let me introduce you to a new formula. UDL plus technology equal diversity and inclusion. So let's see what happens when you marry UDL and technology. So let's look at providing multiple means of representation. How are you going to present information and content in different ways? Let's look at an asynchronous tools. How do we make it asynchronous? How do we make it inclusive? Add captions to the narrations. The same can be done for PowerPoint presentations, video messages, video tutorials, and any other video or audio information that you create for your class. The use of this tool will be beneficial for learners who are visually impaired, as they can benefit from the narration. The hearing impaired will benefit from the captions. This tool will also suit students who have a preference for visual learning. When tutorial notes and other course information are sent to your students using Word, they can benefit from the use of the text-to-speech feature in the older version of Microsoft Word. There is also Immersive Reader in Office 365, which comes with a built-in translator. These can greatly assist students for whom English is a foreign language. They will be able to learn the correct pronunciation of words. Students with dyslexia and other reading difficulties will benefit immensely from this feature. Principle 2. Provide multiple means of action and expression. Are you going to allow your students to express what they know in different ways? This is how it can be done. Students who struggle with writing and language may choose to submit their work in an audio presentation in the form of a podcast. Blogs too are very effective. They present a space for students to write both formally and informally. Blogs also support multiple forms of media such as images, videos, links, etc. They can help students bring creativity to their communication. Let's look at Principle 3. Provide multiple means of engagement. How are you going to stimulate interest and motivate your students to learn? An inclusive tool that can bring all members of a class together is an online bulletin board, like Padlet, for example. It is a shared space where students can post comments, links, and other information and can comment on each other's posts. This can support learners with disabilities and language learners. They can have a shared forum to discuss and organize information. As an educator, I am doing my part, and I am encouraging you to do the same. It can be a bit of a challenge at times because sometimes not everyone in your class will be able to afford the paid version of a particular tool. So that's why you are encouraged to use the free versions. Over the years, I have placed my lectures, converted them to podcasts and videos. I do a lot of PowerPoint presentations and so on. I allow my students to choose other forms of how they're going to do an assignment. They can do a podcast, they can do a video presentation, they can do computer aided drawings. Whatever they are comfortable with, I allow. Okay? Sometimes inclusion might appear a bit far off, and maybe for some of us in the Caribbean it is. UNESCO in 1920 noted that there are about 32 million children in the English-speaking Caribbean and Latin America who live in homes that are not connected to the internet. They are even saying that internet access should become a right so that all citizens will get the opportunity to be connected to the internet and benefit from being connected to the World Wide Web and other platforms. Okay? But let us not lose hope. Encourage your students to invest in internet access. The benefits will be immense. So, I thank you for listening. It should be noted that I took the advice of my instructor and I added notes, I added color to my presentation, I added a list of material that I sourced in order to put this presentation together. I hope you find it really worthwhile. Thank you very much for sharing your time with me.